my third year in the US, and I still face questions about where I come from and my religion and me being a female living in the Middle East. I always face these questions. The most common question was the question of freedom, how happy I am to be living in the United States, and how happy I am for not being forced to wear hijab, or for being able to wear whatever I want to wear, and for not having my dad controlling every move I make. Or, for example, I had a question, people ask me if my dad beats me or not. And all these questions surprised me. At first I thought that they're asking me these questions because they're not aware of other cultures, but then I realized that's not the case, because honestly, before coming to the US, we have this orientation that would teach you about what to expect, and they would be like, they're not aware about so many other cultures, so you might face questions like this and that, but beating up and things and not wearing hijab was not one of the expected questions. But then when I came here, I realized that the questions are coming up from what they watch and what they hear about Arabs and Muslims, and they're expecting us to be wearing hijab, to be beaten up and abused, and they're surprised when they know that my dad sent me to the US to study, and they would be like, did you run away, or did you what did you do, how did you fight your dad to do this? I was like, my dad's the one who encouraged me to come here, and they would be surprised about it, because that's not what they expect from the Middle East and from a Muslim male figure, to do that, to be educating women, encouraging his daughter to be educated and to be open to cultures and not oppressed. So these are the common things that I've been asked about my culture. It was my freshman year. There were so many freshmen who didn't know a lot about Jordan and the Middle East, and when they asked me where are you from, and I'm like, I'm Jordanian, I would explain where Jordan is, and then they would be like, how did you get here? And I'm like, what do they mean? I was like, oh, I stopped at Frankfurt first, and then from Frankfurt to Detroit. But then I realized that that's not their question. Their question how did I get here? Was it a plane? Was it other ways of transportation? And it's oh my God, where do they think I'm coming from? And it was a plane. The first time I was answering it honestly, it was oh, a plane, yeah. And then when I started, when people kept on asking me this question, I making comments and being saying stuff oh yeah, I came on a camel. And my friend paused for a bit, and he was like, you're joking, aren't you? I was like, do you want me to be joking, or do you want to believe it? Because honestly, I thought he believed it for a bit. And then he was like, are you parking it outside? I was like, yeah, it's in the backyard. I came on a plane, are you serious? And back in high school, we had an American group coming to visit Jordan, because I studied in the Baptist school, they were shocked that I'm Muslim studying in a Christian school, which was very common back home, but still it was very shocking to them. And they said they were really surprised, and they were we didn't expect to see houses and cars, and we expected to see tents and camels, and this is so different than what we expected. And I was in high school, and my friends and I were we just stare at each other and be oh, do you guys want to go to the mall? We didn't think about it that much. And until I came here and I realized that it's not only lack of awareness about culture, it's what they know, what they learn about us, and what the books talk about us too. You can hear that, oh, the Arab Muslim female, she's uneducated, she's oppressed, she's controlled by the husband, forced to get married to a guy she doesn't love, which is horrible, because she's not falling in love. They just do it in a they romanticize our stories in a way as if that we don't have a life, and they're exceptionally liberal, exceptionally democratic, and exceptionally living their life, and we're not. That's not true though.